And what up, guys? Yo, let's get in here, guys, and let's get into some trades here. And I feel like maybe I should. I just feel like I miss out on all the other things. You have a Telegram. I do have a Telegram, and I should really work on the Telegram. So, I'm going to roll out the Telegram. We use Discord. We use Discord a lot. We do have a Telegram. I just don't use Telegram, right? So, you can hold like a swing trade for a couple days. Yeah, you can hold for a couple days. Let's see. Is there a short trade from yesterday still active? You have a Telegram. Okay, so let's get into these trades here, guys. Welcome in. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Let's get the like buttons going. Let's get this up to 40,000 likes today. Share the live. We're gonna be trading from 8:30 to maybe 10 o'clock. So we got an hour and a half to get ahead of the market here. So let's figure this out. It is 8:30. Welcome to the opening of the market, guys. Let's figure out what we have here today. So the very first thing we got to do here is take a look at our coins, right? So what coins are we looking at here? Munchkin 1000 supply, 77-year lock liquidity. We'll have to look at that later. All right, so let's get in here, guys. Dirty, thank you for the rose, Dirty. I appreciate the rose. All right, what coin do we want to look at? So first, let's take a look here, and let's take a look at ApeCoin, right? And I'm going to kind of fly through some coins because I'm looking for a very specific thing, right? For instance, I'm going to start on what's called the 4-hour, right? Now, the 4-hour RSI is very simple. What it is basically finding the trend of a coin, right? And I want to show you how powerful the 4-hour is, right? So does everybody know what the relative strength index is, right? You guys all know what the RSI is, right? The stochastic RSI, there's a couple different ones. All you do here is you go to your indicators, you type in RSI, you have relative strength index, the regular one, stochastic, Connors, etc. And let's see, let's pop that in there. And then all of a sudden, once you hit that, that is what this is. Now, in the stochastic RSI, there is a level called the 100 line, right? And it's on the right-hand side. I like to go over here, hit the little plus line, and I put a plus sign, draw a line at the 100, because normally the 100 line is the top of being oversold, and once it starts to break down from that level, that is where we can do what's called positional trading. Positional trading is a 3 to 7 day trade, and this is what we're talking about, long-term positions, right? Very easy to see, and I want to show you guys how it works. This is not hard to put yourself in a position to where if you're doing a margin call of 10% leverage or 20%, you can really take advantage of some of these really long trades very easily, right? So here, taking a look at the indicators that we got here, guys, and if you want the indicators, guys, the link is in the title of the website, of the live. So right here, notice how we have some red moons here, right, which means our sell signal. But I want to bring your attention to something that's more important. It's the 4-hour RSI. When this 4-hour RSI is hitting the top and it's running, it's oversold. I have a green moon here. I'm oversold on my RSI. And then during the 4-hour, I catch a red moon right here and my 4-hour RSI drops. That is a short position right there. Red moon, RSI dropping on the 4-hour. If you follow that trade and you simply do a 10x or a 20x, this trade right here, boop, 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 boop. We'll drop this down here. Actually, I need a short position. That's a long one. Right, so let's grab a short position and let's see what we got right here. Drop this shit down. And that right there was a nice little 8% run. So we'll just say 7% at the end of that pullback. So it's a nice little 7% run just on that 4-hour red moon. That simple, that easy, 10x, 20x. So this shout out to guys like Jackson, Jackson02 is always like, yo, I just need a call out. There's the freaking call out right there. The RSI and the red moon. I don't know what to tell you, man. You don't need me to make call outs. All you have to do is set your alerts here. All you do to set an alert here is very simple. When you see these moons or this alert come on, right? You can go in here and you can actually right click and you can set an alert, right? Set an alert on your RSI. This is a stochastic RSI. It's a crossing horizontal line. I want to do this basically, it's on the 4-hour. So I want to do this once per bar every 4 hours. And I want to create. Now I'm going to scroll down here. Stochastic RSI crossing horizontal line on a 4-hour, right? At that point, once I have that in there, I'm going to create that. So every time ape crosses over on the 4 hour, I will get alerted that there will be a thing. Now you can send this to you can go to your alerts on the right hand side and you can hit settings. Now on the settings, I can go to notifications, right? I can get a pop-up ad on my computer because I'm normally sitting on my computer. I can have them send me an email, or I can even send it to a text message, right? We'll enter an email address below and we'll send you a text message for a confirmation code. And then you basically say, send me a text message when the 4-hour RSI crosses so that I know when there is a long and a short opportunity. This is not hard, guys. When you join the academy, we teach you how to do this, man. We have videos on how to do this. This is what we basically do. You have to watch the videos, guys. All right, this is easy trading. It's so easy to do, man. It blows my mind, right? So let's put ourselves in that position. We're all set up right there. So that is how easy to get yourself in a position of setting yourself up, okay? So now that we got that alert set up, let me get rid of that alert. Bloop. And you can do that with all your alerts. You can set a text message right to your cell phone. You can be at work, you can be playing with the kids, feeding the dog, or doing whatever you're doing, and that will set you up, guys. Okay, so now let's go look at this trade. The 4-hour crosses, we get a red moon, bada boom, bada bing, right? Now, once that comes down and we see the break here, a lot of times when you're entering a trade on a 4-hour, then you're going to be changing the trade and you're going to be getting it out on the 2-hour trade, right? And it's very simple. We take profits we move what's called a stop loss, right? A moving stop loss. If you guys use MEXC or anything like that, you can put a trailing stop loss at 2 or 3% and it trails it, and eventually if it goes back down, it just automatically sells for you, right? Here, let me show you the trade that we entered, and I'm gonna put the line here, a trend line, to show you how we get out of this trade, right? So this would be the best time to get out of this trade. I'm going to turn this into a 4 because I want to make sure that I don't miss this trade, and I'm going to run it down here. Beautiful music. I love the peaceful music. It's really easy to get along with. Delete that, man. How come it's not letting me run a trend here? What's the problem? What's the problem, man? What's the problem, man? There you go. There you go. Let's go, TradingView. Wake up, get in the game. All right, now I want to go and show you. If you enter a 4-hour, the sell is on the 2-hour, right? Now go to the 2-hour. Let's find this trade. When the 2-hour RSI starts to bend up, you guys see right here? That's where you put another alert on the 2-hour RSI. So when the 2-hour RSI bends, so let's go ahead and do this. Click here, right? And what I'm going to do here is I want to get the delete. I want to grab here and I want to right click, and what I'm looking for is when that hits, I'm going to add an alert on the 2-hour, right? Here's the 2-hour. I'm going to put it once per bar. The 2-hour stochastic right here, right? Bada bam, bada bam, bada bam, bada. 2-hour stochastic. I'm going to create. And what that's going to do for me is when my 4-hour tells me to buy or sell, the 2-hour is going to tell me when to close my trade. It is that simple, right? There you go. There's an alert. Just like that. And you can also send this to your text messages. So that is how you would get out of that trade. If you guys look down here at the stochastic RSI on the 2-hour, you would have noticed that when the 2-hour bounced right here and started to head it back up, that is when you sell that trade or close that trade. That is how easy it is to make 10 to 20x on a 7% move, right? So that's 140% profits right there, guys. All right, so now if you want to sign up or get in the academy and actually watch these videos, I have a complete how-to guide on how to basically double your money every 10 days, right? You can have $10, $20, whatever. When you jump in the academy, we teach you a system that shows you how to stop losing money in crypto. I go live on TikTok every day, and what I'm doing on TikTok, when you hit those lives, guys, what I'm doing on TikTok is literally showing you the system that we use so that you can basically be where, by using the system, you can see that it works. This is not hard to do, right? This is alpha for you guys. This is how we grow. All right, so now let's move on to a current situation here. Like I said, we're going to start off by doing what we call hunting this down, right? Very simple stuff, man. Good day, mate. Two. Good day, mate. Two. I make more money than you'll ever make, bro. So another TikTok trader that has limited ability. I have more ability than you'll ever have, bro. The whole point of having this entire setup is so that people who don't have my knowledge can make money very simply in a system. Stop thinking that you have to know about, bull flags, flag poles, all supports and all that stuff. That stuff's secondary when it comes to a system that works, right? You don't need all that trash when you understand how to make money, right? So stop thinking what you learned or you think is more important than other shit, right? Show me a system. Show me your money if you got money. Show me how you make money every day. Show me your trades. Where you at? Show me your trades, right? So don't come in here talking about you know how to trade when you don't know how to trade. That's why all these people lose their money, because people like you come in, someone else who doesn't know a bull flag or a bearish, compound, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you don't know trash, bro. You're trash. Get out of here. Scram. All right, so let's get to this. This system right here is designed for people who don't have time to go learn 1,000 stupid little things. There's a million ways to make money in trading, okay, guys? Very simply. You have to find a system that works, okay? When the system works, you just have to apply that system. Now, inside the academy, you have to understand the mentality of trading, right? The trading is real simple. You guys lose money because you enter on the trade at the wrong time. You sell when you're negative because you entered at the wrong time. There's a lot of things you guys do wrong, right? So the first thing you have to do is figure out how to make money in trading without, being emotional, right? And it really comes down to the best traders in the world enter a trade at the right time. And we use leverage, which is basically 50 to 100x, right? So it really comes down to simplicity, right? If you're entering the trade at the best possible percentage of time of it's going to move up, using leverage, you don't need a trade to move that much for you to make money. So for instance, if you're doing spot trading where there's no leverage, if you have $1,000 in a trade and you have to put $1,000 and that trade moves 3%, right? $1,000, 3%, right? What is that? What is your take home on that? $1,000, 3%, right? $30, right? $1,000, 3%, $30, right? 3%, $30. It's not bad. It's not the greatest. $30. You had to risk $1,000. You're in a spot trade, 3% move, which is a crazy big move in crypto. That in stocks, that's actually unheard of. Right there, $30. When we can take $100, put it into leverage, do a 50x, move 1%, and our 50 is times the 1%, so we have 50% gains. Not 3%, but 50% gains. Half of that is pure profit, that's 25%. So if you would have put $100 in on a 50x leverage and hit a 1% move, right? Remember, the spot trader moved 3% and made $30 on 1,000. We put $100 in, do a 50x leverage, and move 1%, 1/3 of the movement, 1/3 of the movement, and we make $50. Why would you do any other trading except leverage? Okay, the best traders in the world use leverage. Businesses use leverage. It's how they make money. So if you want to make money, you need to do what the big boys are doing, and you need to use the system that the big people are using. Institutions use leverage. What's that dude, micro strategy guy, whoever, the guy who always talks about Bitcoin? He's leveraging 20x on his Bitcoin investment. Millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. He's leveraging 10, 20x on his shit, right? I don't know, man. If the guy has $400, $500, $600 million in Bitcoin and he's leveraged at 20%, whew, you might want to learn how to leverage your money, because that's how rich people get paid. Rich people don't use their money to get paid. They use other people's money to get paid. They use loans to get paid, right? And then they pay back the loans. That's what it's all about. So leveraging is what we have. So let's get into this coin real quick here so we can start finding some trades. So the first thing we're going to do here is take a look at ApeCoin. Here's ApeCoin on the 4 hour. It is going into a negative, and we have a red moon right here, right? Now, the thing about this is that the 4 hour RSI is already touching what we call the 20 line. These dotted lines are, the top one is 80, the middle one is 50, the bottom is 20, right? We're getting to the 20 part, meaning that we're kind of coming to an end of the scenario of this downward movement for this RSI, right? So now what we need to do here is figure out, you know, how much more of a fall there's going to be. Remember, guys, anytime there's a trade, there is always a pullback or a bounce. So you're never late to a trade, and you should probably make the rule of thumb. Like, one thing I like is getting in on the trade on the bounce or the pullback, kind of as a way to ensure that you're making a good trade. So now the 4-hour RSI on ApeCoin isn't moving up or down. It's kind of going sideways, but it's already at the 30. I don't think this is a really good trade, so we're going to move on to another coin. So first thing I want to do here is I'm going to move on to Matic, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a round here, and I'm going to start finding the coins that are ending their movement, right? So for instance, right here, notice here on the 4-hour, right? Matic's a little good. You guys have Matic up? Who has TradingView, man? You guys have STX long setting up. All right, we're going to take a look at STX in 1 second, guys. STX. Well, let's take a look at STX right now. STX. All right, so Dish is in the academy. Welcome in, Dish, man. How are you doing, Dish? Welcome in, big dog. Yo, Dish, how long you been in the academy? Yeah, so the camera is centered, guys. I just basically have the overlapping right here, man. So I'm overlapping my charts. Otherwise, you guys would be looking at this chart right here. All right, this is what's streaming today. That's what you guys would be looking at. But, you know, we can look at it this way, too. So 2 weeks. All right, Dish, 2 weeks in the academy. How are you doing, man? Have you doubled your money yet? How many bags have you doubled, man? No, the camera's okay, man. The camera's okay. I just have it to the side so you guys can see the chart. The camera's centered, big dog. The camera's right there, man. See? I'm centered. If I open this up right here, guys, I'm centered. See? Centered. What up, man? Welcome in, guys. I'm completely centered. But we're also streaming this for the academy because I'm going to use this as educational later. All right, so now that we're set up here, let's get back into the zone. All right, so the first thing, STX, right? So we're taking a look at STX. 2 bags doubled out of 4. Let's go. So he's doing the 4x4 system. All right, so right here, STX. So what do you think is going to happen right here, Dish, with STX? A long setting up on STX. Welcome in, Fat Cat. Thanks for the follow, big dog. All right. Currently, STX, you see how sharp, you know, this little movement down is? So STX is setting up for a upward movement here. It just has another couple hours of push down. And what we can do here is take a look at the moon here. We have a bounce here, rejection, which means we're probably going to have a push up. So once we find a coin that has some movement, since the 4-hour is coming towards an end of all this, what we want to do is then move over to what we have is basically the 2-hour, so that we can see where we're at. So right now the 2-hour is bouncing, so we're starting to get movement here. Now when the 4-hour finishes, we're probably going to have a green moon on the 2-hour. So that's what we want to be looking for here, is the green moon on the 2-hour right here, guys. And it looks like we're getting to that point. So yeah, STX is moving up right now. Yes, share the live. Thanks for sharing the live, guys. So Zandy, you have to look at the trend, right? So which direction is the coin moving overall? That's the 4-hour. The 2-hour lets you know how far into the 4-hour the trend is actually at. So since the 2-hour on this coin is starting to move up, that means the 4-hour downtrend is less than 50% strength, because the 2-hour is starting to push up. So think of that. If the 2-hour and the 4-hour are both heading down, that means the 4-hour trend down is at 100%. The 2-hour starts to bend up, that takes the 4-hour relative strength index to 50%, meaning that we're starting to see where bounces or dead cat bounces or retraces or whatever are getting stronger to the upside, which means that we can take advantage of longs in a higher percent of success. If everything's heading down, then we play nothing but shorts until we see a rejection or the opposite, movement, right? So right here we have a 2 hour starting to bend up, which means, and let's go ahead and mark this right here, and I'm going to mark the price of the 2 hour, right? So we're going to price label here, right there, and that is basically, let's get into the color here. That price label is a 2 hour. So when we go down here, these are our hours, right? So this is the 15 minute, the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour. So this is the 2 hour. So we make that orange, right? That is just going to let me know that currently on the bounce of the 2 hour, it's at 86.83. Okay, that's just a reminder for me. You guys can put a little thing there. It just lets me know that at this particular moment, let's get into settings, visibility, okay, price bar. All right. So that just lets me know that at that particular moment, we're working at 86.83, okay? Now that we know that that's the 2 hour, let's roll over to the 1 hour, because the 1 hour is how we make trades. So we trade off the 1 hour, right? And the 1 hour allows us to make trades, right? So now that we know the 2 hour is bouncing, we can go look at the 1 hour RSI to see how strong the bounce is. Now currently the 1 hour had a push up, it rejected, it came down, and now it's starting to move up. Now anytime you see this type of like short rejection, that's not a bad sign. Just let you know that there's something going on with price value and price action, that there's some weakness here, right? Because there wasn't enough strength for the 1 hour to finish its push up. It actually fell short. So right now this coin is showing me that it was a little bit short there, or people started selling at that point and probably taking profits off of this trade right here. See this buy signal? The buy signal says there's a lot of people buying, and the sell signal says, okay, now they're starting to basically take profit here, right? So now that we know that that's happening, we know that this coin is a little bit weak on the positive side, and there's more people selling than buying, right? So let's come down here, and which is okay because we're gearing up for the 4 hour to bounce, which is a long push or a better opportunity push to the upside. But currently the downward trend is starting to kick in here, right? You see this little green line here? This green line are buyers, and the buyers are starting to disappear on this coin, and the sellers are basically even, right? So right now the buyers are just going away, but the sellers are not selling. So we're going to see a flat line until the sellers decide to sell and drop the price, or the buyers return and push this price. But either way, this is a sideways coin because our 1 hour is at the bottom there. So now we look at this trade, there's kind of where we'd say to ourselves, all right, right now, the higher percent of this trade based on my 1 hour is down, okay? Looks like my 1 hour is bending and it doesn't have a lot of strength. So I would consider this a short position type trade, waiting for the buyers to come back. Now, since that is happening, and I'm also in a red moon, and I'm in a red trend, so this entire thing tells me that red moon is down, red trend is down, sell is down, but we kind of already had our move down. So what it looks like is, just like here, how this had a move down and a push up, the red sell came down, and so the push up or the pullback or the bounce, because of the red trend line and the sell being here, is going to be less. And what happened here, look at the weakness, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles here on the bounce. Here we only had 2, which means we're probably going to be in a short here. So now that I think this is going to be a short, now on the 1 hour I think I have a short. I'm going to look at the 15 minute to kind of see if that agrees with the short. Now we get to the 15 minute. What do we have? The RSI is bouncing down right here. So the trade that we should have entered is actually right here on the 15 minute. It would have been this trade right here. So see on the RSI right here, guys. Let me click here. So right here, guys, you see this RSI right here? Let me just move this over because you guys don't get a really good chance to see that. All right, there we go. There we go. And that's why I have you guys kind of moved and centered over here, because it's a lot easier for you guys to kind of like see the entire trade. All right. So the RSI on the 15-minute, guys, you see right here, the RSI is bouncing down. Let me see what's the best way for you guys to see this. All right, so right here on the 15-minute, the RSI, we can see right here, it's at its top, right? I'm going to open this up a little bit so you guys can see a little bit more. There we go. All right, see right here how this RSI right here starts to bend? You guys see that right here? See right here, that little RSI starts to bend? And what that's going to be basically is the coin starting to give up, right? So right here you see the 15-minute RSI bend. Right here you see it bending right here. And it's starting to go flat. And as it comes across, when it breaks across the blue line, breaks across the red, it's right in this zone right here. And that would be our short. So the short position actually should have been on this little doji candle right here. That's our short position on our 15-minute, right? Then the red moon kicks in. You guys see the red moon right here? Red moon kicks in, and all of a sudden we have a confirmation that the short is actually going to continue a little bit longer, and it starts to move down. Now, we do still have a green trend on the 15-minute, which basically means that it's going to be fighting its position a little bit more. So it's not completely giving up here. And we also have the 200 moving average, which is this orange line right here, right? So normally I'm going to always give the 200 moving average on the 15-minute and above support or resistance, right? And this 200 right here is going to be where I'm going to assume that the max value of the trade is only going to touch that 200 moving average until it breaks that. And since on the 15-minute, it is not looking like it's going to break that, I'm going to assume that the 15-minute is going to come down and bounce, and that is going to become a long, right? So right now, we're not going to short this coin because it all looks like we're in the middle of a sideways movement, and this movement is only going to come down to the 200 moving average, right? Now, let's take a look at the 200 moving average and see if it makes any money if we play a short here down to the 200 moving average. So put your little short right there, move it over to the side. All right, let me see if I can get you guys some better angles without me always constantly moving shit around. There we go. There we go. This might be a little better for you guys right here. All right, so what I mean right here is basically right here. You see this right here? There you go, guys. All right, way better, guys. Way better for you guys. So right here, you see the RSI right here breaks through right here. That means the original trade should have been off of this original part up here, this coin right here, right? We should have been in the trade somewhere up here. Currently, you're looking at this trade. If you enter a short here at this level, that means on a profit level, right? If we go for profit, it's going to at least bounce off this moving 200 average, right? That moving 200 is sitting at a 0.77, which basically means we can run a short on a high leverage down to a 0.5, a half a percent, and still make money. So it's not a bad play, but it's not the greatest play in the world. So let's slide over here. Now that we think about doing a short, now to confirm whether or not that short is actually going to be a good idea, right? Hey, M. Nelly, thanks for the follow. Stephen Biden, thanks for the follow. XS Schmidt, Vicky Vic, I think it's not going to bounce. Maybe in a wave continue. Vicky, what up, Vicky? I think it's not going to bounce. Maybe in a wave continue. You know, this is possible right here, right? So, I mean, it does look like we might be able to get a little more out of this. Let's move to the 5-minute. Now, the problem is you always want to confirm here. Now, the 5-minute has the 200 and it broke through already, which is normally a example of what's coming forward. Now, the problem here is I don't like to enter a short, even though this is going hella short right now, guys. I don't like to do a short too much with the 5-minute RSI so low to the bottom. I love to see the RSI actually bounce. So see this RSI right here? You see how it came up and it got rejected right here? That's the short entry right here. That 5-minute RSI right there, that's another entry. We should have entered right there and we'd be in a short. But because we didn't enter on this 5-minute, right? So rewind. It's a 1 hour short. The 15 minute is the confirmation of the short. Then to enter the trade, we have to go to the 5 minute RSI, which would be right here. And we want to enter a short once this RSI starts to move up and rejects, right? You see how it moved up here and rejected? That's a short position right here, short position, right? This short position is a lot better because it had all this room to fall. This short position isn't that great because it's right here. It's coming down. So Vicky, I'm going to say that because of this short RSI on the 5 minute, that's going to confirm to me that the 15 minute 200 moving average, which we have right here, is going to hold at this particular moment, right? So that is going to let me know that we're probably more than likely 80% chance that this is going to bounce off of this. Now guys, what did we just go over? What short did we just say would happen, right? You could play the short from this position down to the moving average 200. What just happened? What just happened, man? Did this trade just not happen in front of your face? Did you guys see that? Hit the like button, guys. We literally are just calling trades out as they're happening, guys. Did you see that? Thank you, Bernice, for the follow. Radek, stop for the follow. Guys, while you're following, don't forget to share the live. Do me a favor, share the live. Johnny Boy, thanks for the follow. Crazy Board. What up, Crazy Board? Yo, guys, hit the like buttons. We need to get this likes up, man. We need 40,000 likes today. What up, Diabeto? All right, guys, so listen. Did you see how we just called that short? Right? Did you see that, guys? This was your entry for the short. What up, VC? It would have hit right here, right? Just like we called. Okay, Papa, what up, man? Eddie Money. What up, Eddie Money? So if you would have played the short right here, you would have hit a 0.70%, right? Fat Cat, please, name of the indicators. Guys, the name of the indicators, these indicators, they have different settings. They have everything in there. So this indicator right here is called the stochastic RSI, right? Very easy to get. All these indicators are on TradingView. Now, the difference is these indicators here are basically, you know, set up to have settings that have to be set up. We do all the settings in the academy. If you want to jump into the academy, hey, man, you're the best at this. Chef Henry, what up, big dog? So right now, guys, we have this short popping up here. The 15 minute has some room here. But notice how the 15 minute RSI is starting to bend, right? I appreciate you, Chef, man. Thank you, Chef. I like that though. I usually go to nice restaurants and it's like, thanks, Chef. Thank you, Chef. Chef Henry, baby. All right, so right here we're having a nice little drop through the 200 moving average. But notice how the 15 minute is starting to go sideways, right? And I'm going to pull this up, and what I'm looking for is how tight is this going down. So far, it's starting to bend here, right? So now that when I look at my my moons, I'm looking for the buyers and the sellers. And notice right here that I'm starting to get my sellers, right, which is this red line. The sellers are starting to get out of here, and the buyers haven't came back, which means I'm probably going to get a bounce off here, and I'm probably going to be able to go long. So for that, I'm going to rotate over for a long position on my 5 minute, right? Which is where my RSI comes into play. And what I'm looking for here is the 5 minute RSI to show me that it's starting to bounce so that I can start getting a long position set up here, guys. Okay, hit that like button, guys. Let's set this up. We're looking for a long position on STX, right? STX. I don't even know if this is on my trading. Let me check this out. I normally don't trade STX, but I'm going to slide in those DMs, baby. All right, let's go find STX. Is STX on Messi, guys? Yes, it is. STX. All right, let's take a look here. STX has a couple different options for longs. We can go with 75X. We're going to rotate a 75X on that, and a short, we're going to rotate the 75X. Confirmed. Okay, so guys, we're starting to look here. What we're looking for is a long position here on STX. 864. Okay, so we're going to start looking for a long position here Exactly when this starts to bend. All right, here are the buyers. The buyers are coming in right here. Here are the buyers right here. So this is my look for my long position. So my long position would be coming off of this level right here. So I'm going to mark this right quick at this level right here. All right, so 86.11 starts to look like where we're going to start looking. Now, what we need here is for the 5-minute RSI to bounce up, right? We need a green moon here to see what's happening on this trade or when to get into the best trades possible. Let's see what we got here. We need to go and look at the continuation, which is going to be a 3-minute, right? So 3-minute is going to let us know what's happening in the future. So right now we need this 3-minute moon to go green to show us that we're bouncing, but everything is bouncing right now. So it looks like a long is incoming, and we just have to play this position here. Now, once we know that there's a long incoming and we're waiting on the 5-minute position to get into the right trade, we go to the 3-minute to confirm the 5-minute position. It is also bottomed out, and then the final step is go to the 1-minute to make sure the 1-minute RSI is also following the system, right? Because the 1-minute RSI is going to be, you need that to completely bottom and give you the uptrend that you want, because you don't want to enter a trade when the 1-minute RSI is at the top, because there's going to always be a pullback on the 1-minute RSI. So right now, we're watching the 1-minute RSI. It is currently sitting at the 100 line. So right now we have to wait for this to come down, and we just have to be patient, right? So patience, my people, patience. We gotta have patience. All right, so let me draw my lines in here because I never traded STX. So I'm gonna go to put my 100 line. All you do is go to the side. You go to right here. You see a little plus sign. Go to the 100. Draw a line. Go to the 60, draw a line. Open this up with your mouse. All you do is kind of roll it up with your mouse here so it has a little more space, or roll it down so you have more space to find your X. And then we need a 30 line. Where's the 30 line? Okay, there's a 30 line. All right, so here's all this. So right now we're going to be getting into a long, but the long is going to happen when the 1-minute RSI bounces up, right? And that's because by looking at the 3-minute, the 3-minute is already started to bounce up, which means that's a good position. The 5-minute is starting to also bounce up, which is a good position. And now we just need the 1-minute to give us the best entry. Accumulation year. We are still in accumulation year. All right, so here we go. This is what we're waiting on right here, is this 1-minute RSI. And I kind of like, I want the 1-minute RSI to be a little bit in better position here, but it does look like it's starting to bend, which is what we want here. Three-minute, as long as the 3-minute showing that it's still confirming, we're good. And then we just need the 3-minute to go into a moon, right? We just need a green moon on the 3-minute. Bull run started, man, right now. Bull run will kick off in March of next year, March 2024. And it'll go for a year. We need these buyers to get a little closer here. Yeah, 2024 is the Bitcoin halving cycle. Where what happens is, because the halving cycle comes in And basically what happens is the Bitcoin miners are getting half of what they were making. So what they do is they start to basically push the price of Bitcoin up. There we go, right here. They push the price of Bitcoin up so that they can get better value for all the coins they mined at $15,000-$17,000. They push the Bitcoin price up because what they're trying to do is they have to get the price up where it's a like a 10 to 15x on their cash. They're trying to get 10x on it, right? But the average is 5 to 10x. When they get that money, when they're 5 to 10x, that's where they're pushing the price, and they keep pushing the price and get everybody kind of FOMO'd in. And then at that point is where they start selling at the top because they're taking profits, because it's going to cost money to mine Bitcoin moving in the future, and they need to have that profits already inside of their bank. So we need a 3-minute green moon here, guys. We actually might come down here. We might be having a short position here. I might play a quick short position here on STX here, because the 1-minute RSI is falling. The 3 minutes is very weak. And you see right here, there's the 1-minute RSI isn't bouncing up. So right here, we went sideways, and now we're giving up right here. So this could be a short position. So I'm going to play this short position right here and look for a short as soon as we get a red moon right here. Because this could dump pretty quickly and continue its move down. So the 1 minute is basically letting me know that there's not that much strength here, which means the consolidation could fall out as soon as people decide that this is a weak market. There we go. See, this is why we played the short right there. We played the short right there because the 1 minute wasn't given strength. It was at the top. There's always a pullback, right? So if you know there's always a pullback, why not make money on the pullback, right? Because as we look at this coin, the pullback is in still full effect because the 3 minute just turned down and got rejected off the 30 line. The 5 minute is basically weak and underneath the 30 line. And the 15 minute is still heading down on the RSI on the 15 minute. So remember, the 15 minute RSI is our trend setter, right? So the overall trend, let's go back through. First, you want to see what the overall trend of the coin is. The overall trend is down, right? So right now, STX is in a downward motion. The 2 hour is to tell us how strong that downward motion is. And it's still about 60 to 70% of a downward motion because the 200 has not broken the 30 line yet. So we're still at about an 80% downward motion. Then we go to the 1 hour to see where we're at totally. And the 1 hour RSI just got rejected right here. So if you're watching, you got to keep moving through your charts. Look at the 1 hour RSI right here, just got rejected. And remember I told you how weak this was? We were covering that. This rejection right here puts us into a short position to where this looks like it's going to start pulling back here. And then now we're looking for that short side. We go back to the 15 minute to see where we're at, and we are in a downward motion still with a red moon. If we get a red trend here, we could go a lot further. So now we're going to play this. It's bouncing off that 200 moving average. That's the only thing supporting it right here. If it breaks through that 200, we're going to have a nice short here. So that's kind of what we're looking. But I mean, I just feel like that 200 is too hard to play with right now, right? It's just a tough. You don't want to go up against a 200 moving average around the 15 minute, right? It just means like it's going to bounce. And even though they're going to try to sell here, it looks like a nice little pullback short. I don't know if they're going to be able to break through that 200, but we're about to find out because it's going to go sideways for a minute here. And this trade right here is a really tough trade to get in because it all looks like it wants to short, but the moving average on the 15-minute is very, very strong. So the good news is if it does short and it breaks through that 15-minute, we're going to make a lot of money on the down. It looks like it wants to give up here, man. It keeps flashing this little 200 motion. Hold on. Keeps flashing this little short signal here, but that's at the bottom, man. We're at this bottom of this pullback, and we're hitting the 200, so we're going sideways here. I just feel like as this time goes on, this is, you know, this is a very tough trade right here. 200 moving average on the 15 is hard to break. So the 5-minute is showing a little resistance, but it's not really pushing up, right? Which is leading me to think that this short is really getting stronger than the long, right? And the 15-minute isn't bending up. So it does look like, and there's a sell sign. There's a sell signal. We're going to play this short here, guys, because the sell signal hopped up. Here's our sell signal on the 15-minute, which is increasing the fact that we're going to break through here. So now that we have a sell signal with a moon and a sell signal, we're going to take the short here. So now we're in a short, and the short that we entered is basically right off this play right here. So we entered that short right there at 8557. $8,546 right there. That's the short that we entered. We have a sell signal. We're breaking the 200 moving average right here. I'm going to push this over here, 8647. Because if we can break this, we're going to be really in a good position here. Now that we have a sell signal, this looks really good here, right? 15 minutes still moving down. The correct trade, I don't like getting into trades that aren't correct, right? So guys, this is my recommendation. This short is going to probably make me some money here. But honestly, we should be looking for the short off of the 15-minute top that started to go down. We should have entered way over here. Like, we would already be in so much money right now, right? We're just behind on this short, man. We're behind on this short here. I don't like being in a short that's already happening. And I'm only making these trades because we're live, which is terrible. Right, so I'm gonna take this percent here, but I don't like the fact that this trade is so late. We should have been in here, right? So we should be looking for trades that have the 15-minute RSI already at the top or at the bottom, not in between. Once the trade is past the 60 line, which is right here going down, or the 60 line going up, there's no need to, like, you know, further that trade. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like running out already. Right, which means that there's not too much momentum to it, man. There's not that much room. So because of that, I'm going to move on to another coin here. But when that 15-minute hits the bottom, right? Let me put that. I'm gonna put an alert here. So I'm going to put alert on STX to let me know when that 15-minute RSI crosses back over that 15-minute when it crosses over, because that's going to let us know that we can get into a long position on STX off the 15-minute RSI. So as soon as I close out of this position, we'll be moving on to another coin until we get a better position here. Like I said, this is not a trade that we want to be in. We want to trade when the RSI is at the top and starting before the 60, right? I even like on the 15-minute before it even crosses this little beveled line, which is the 80 line. So the RSI has to be above the 80, and then on the bottom we don't want to get into a long unless the RSI is, you know, slightly above. So honestly, that first line is the 30. When the RSI breaks that 30, that's when you should be getting into your long. And when the RSI from the short breaks the 80, that's when you should be getting into the short. Those are the two things. On the long, break the 30. On the short, break the 80. Right? Those are the two ways. This is definitely going to jump down right here. You know, if this turns into a red trend, we're in a good position. So let me fly over to the 5 minute, because I'm going to be closing this trade based on the 5 minute RSIs, right? See the 5 minute RSI? See how it's at the bottom there? It's still heading down. So I'm going to hold this trade until that bounces. And for a foresight into that, a little more heads up, I'm looking at the 3 minute RSI and it's still heading down. So I'm still holding this trade. And then I'm going to go to the 1 minute for the micro move, right? So on here, more than likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this trade until this 1 minute bounces. And when that 1 minute bounces, I'm going to take a look right here. You see how it's bouncing right here? See that bounce right there? All right, you see that little bounce? This is where I want to kind of, that's where that trade would end for me right there, right? And it did wick out. It did wick out right there. So that was a 7% gain. I don't like that trade because we're in the middle of a sideways move. We don't want to be in that trade. So let's back up here and go back to the 15 minute to see where we're at. We need the 15 minute to bottom and bounce. When the 15 minute, so Dish, if you're still on your Dish, as soon as you see the 15 minute bottom and start to bounce, let me know, because that's going to be the long position for this particular trade. All right, what other coins do we have, guys? What other coins do we have? Because I don't want to mess around in between. Johnny Boy! Johnny Boy, how can I learn more of this? Johnny Boy, let's reply to that link under his face and followers. All right, let's check out everybody. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. How can you see if the candle's weak or not? What up? What coin? All right, man. Here we go. We still in accumulation. Bull run. That's Bitcoin halving. Correct. Best trade platform for options and leverage. Right now, Chris Russin. Best trade platform is, I mean, we're using a lot of MEXC. Guys use Bybit. You know, so there's a lot going on there with Bybit, MEXC, etc. Those are the platforms that, you know, we're using basically. And we're not having any problems there with those guys. They're pretty solid. But you know, those are my go-to. MEXC is my go-to because you can use high leverage, you know, really high leverage, which is amazing. And it allows you to like really, you know, make some fucking money. I like using 50 to 80x, right? 50 to 80x every single trade, 50 to 80x, right? That's the main trade. But you at least want to have at least 20 to 20% leverage when you first start out if you're learning. But that's you make more money when you use at least minimum 30%. 30%. I mean, I don't even like saying that, man. Minimum is like 40% to me. 40 to 80. 40 to 80 would be a good margin. It's like hard for me to say that because I'm a big 60 to 80 area. Like I love that high leverage because I like to make quick money and get out. Right? But long-term trades, you want to use like a 10 or a 20, and that you can find in most places. But for high leverage, man, MEXC, Bybit, or BitGet, what are you guys using out there, man? Binance. What is Binance? So JB, what is Binance giving you? Like, What's the JB? What's the highest leverage Binance gives you on? I don't know, Matic. Let's look at Matic. Like, what's the leverage you can use on Matic? Because I don't use Binance. Grant Ely, thanks Grant for the follow, big dog. I appreciate that, man. Brad Roach, thanks for the follow, man. Mushamini, thanks for the follow. Mark Morley, thanks for the follow, guys. Guys, don't forget, you need to follow up the backup page. You guys want to make sure we're going to put most of the alerts and the big trades on this one here. Follow me. Follow that page right there. It's called VC Crypto Nation. Follow the backup page right now, guys. That is where you're going to find all the stuff that's coming up, man. Follow that page right there. That is where you will find the alerts. And as we move forward, we're going to be putting most of the stuff over there. We always use the backup, man. 50x on Matic. Okay. And Mark, that's on Binance? That's on Binance, Mark? So Mark, baby, yeah. Okay, so that's not bad. So Binance, if you can get a 50x, right? Remember, guys, you want to be 30 to 50 minimum, right? And if you guys are, you know, just learning, if you guys don't have these indicators, you don't have the shit that I have, you want to be using 20% because you don't want to risk it. Because you guys, these indicators are made to basically get you in at the right entry so that you actually make money, right? You don't want to push it. 20x on Binance. 20x is fine as long as you have 20x. KuCoin only gives 10. That's why I don't use KuCoin anymore. At least a 20x to get yourself, you know, a good move. Because think of it like this, right? A 1% move gives you a 20x. Half of that is 10, which is a 10% profit. So what your goal is every single trade is to make 10% profit, right? It's not a lot. It's very little. Why VC? Why do we want to make 10% profit? Well, you want to make a 20% profit on every leverage trade. Half of that is 10. That's your profit, right? The ideal is to learn how to do what's called the 4x4, right? Meaning that every trade you make brings in 10% profit. If you have $100 and you make 10 quality trades at 20%, half of that gives you your 10%. That means every 10 trades, you doubled your money. So if you're working on one trade at a time and you just start working your system, like going to work, whoop, whoop, just doing your job, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. 10 trades later, guess what? You doubled your money. Take that profit, put it to the side, repeat. 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. 10 more trades, guess what? You doubled your money, put it to the side, repeat. 20%, 20%, 20%. You do that 3 times in a row, you put 300 to the side, and the fourth time, that when you double that 100, you now have 200. This time you keep it in the trade bag, right? It's called the 4x4 process, right? This is what you learn in the academy. It's called the 4x4 process. 4x4 meaning that you do it 4 times. 3 times you put the profit to the side. The 4th time you double your trading bag. Now you have $200 and you repeat the process. 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. Bada boom, bada bing. And what happens at that point? Every 10 trades, now you're doubling $200. 200 to the side, 1 time. 200 to the side, 3 times. 200 to the side, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. The 4th time you keep the 200 in the trading bag and now you're doing $400 double ups. And you continue that process until you get to the point that you're at a $1,000 or $1,600 bag. And when you get to the $1,600 bag, now every 10 trades, you're making that $1,600, which means that in a month period, you should do that 3 times, right? Which means you should have 3,666, 4,000, what's that, 1,800? So that's $4,800 a month, right? Divide that by 4, right? 4,000 by 4, that's $1,000 a week, guys. That's simple. $1,000 a week, right? That's 40, 50 grand a year, guys. That's how easy it is with the Academy. That's why you want to jump in that link. Guys, the Academy is $1,000 enrollment. Right now, for everyone on TikTok, I think we're doing a $300 enrollment right here. We got it. See, STX. Here we go. 15 minutes short. Look at that red came in, man. Here's a red trend. Now, see, this is changing the game because now we have a sell sign on the red trend, and now You slide over to the 15 minute. You see, Dish, you watching this, Dish? This positioning for the long is reversing right now on us. And now the 5 minute didn't. Look at the 5 minute RSI. It broke down again right there. That's another short entry right there. Now we're in another short. Let's take a look at the 3 minute. You know, here's your 3 minute bend right there. You see that 3 minute bend right there in that RSI? You see that 3 minute bend right there? That's the short entry right there. The 3 minute bend. Bada boom, bada bing. Now you go to your 1 minute, guaranteed it's already hit the top and started down. There's your entry for your short. Ugh, easy play, guys. Easy play on that. But like I said, it's still going sideways. The 15 minute has some room here, which is nice. And if it breaks through, it's fighting that 200. But now that candle is below the 200 on the 15 minute. This is going to give us a decent short position here. The short position at the 8549 would have been perfect entry right there. I just don't like, even though, see, the problem is I can trade winning trades all day, right? I'm not worried about that. But in order to be what's called consistently profitable, right? Meaning that trades that are going to give you higher percentages without, you know, an issue, right? It's called the law of average. If I'm playing tough trades every time, my winning percent is about 50%. But if I'm only entering the trades at the right time, this is where you have to be mentally disciplined, right? I can jump on here because I've been trading for 10 years and I can call out a short at 8549 and make money. But I don't want to teach you guys on live how to trade like on the cusp of your area. Because let's say if I make a bad trade and I lose $300 in a trade, right? The next trade I'll make $1,000. So I make that back. It doesn't hurt me to lose the trade. But when you're new to trading, you need a system that is always set up for you to win. And you need to enter at the right times and be in the right trades at the right time so that you're always profitable, right? Does that make sense? You don't want to take risk, right? Right now we're taking a look at STX. And the reason why we're looking at STX is because we're waiting to go long on STX, right? We're just waiting for it to reset its cycle. And that's what it is. Sometimes you just have to let the coin reset. If you miss a trade, you just move on to the next coin until you find the right entry. You don't want to, you know, have to take higher percent, you know, you just do the system right? And that's kind of where, like, you know, I need to be more disciplined on my lives because I do make trades here that, you know, I want to start doing where it's just the academy, right? I only make trades on live based on the reality of the indicators and what we should do, not what I see and know is going to happen, right? And what I see here is a really good opportunity for a long on STX after this short plays out. So now that we have a red trend, a sell signal, this is going to come down and consolidate really heavily. And as soon as that 15 minute on the STX starts to bend up, like Dish, watch that, okay? And we're going to have a long position. So if we go to the 4 hour, we're heading down. So overall, we're in a downward trend. The 2 hour is showing that we're starting to bend. Like you see that 2 hour starting to bend? We're starting to get that upward movement. Now that means in the 2 hour, that could be a movement 2, 4, 6. This could be 4 to 5 hours right here before we start to see that upward movement, right? But it's right there. It's starting to happen. And now when we go to the 1 hour trade, which is where we like to trade, this is really what we want to watch here. So personally, Dish, you want to look at that 1 hour RSI, okay? You're going to have some movement here. You'll have a little bit of a pump when that 15 minute starts to move. It's going to be a battle right now anyways. It's going to be an up and down, right? And what you want to do is wait for the right trade to actually happen here, which is going to be when the 1 hour RSI starts to head up and then the 15 minute is at the bottom and starts to head up, right? So you understand? We want the 1 hour at the bottom heading up or bouncing where it is right now. When the 1 hour starts to head up from this above the 30 line, the 15 minute RSI from the bottom starts to head up. That is going to be a very healthy. That's going to be a very healthy, that like hit my brain right there, guys. I was like, I felt good on that one. I was like, you're a genius. I know, man. I know, bro. Some genius shit right there. And we can start to see right here. We can see right here that the 1 hour is starting to bend. Like, you see that dish? You see how the 1 hour is starting to bend a little? It's not coming straight down. All right. So as soon as that 1 hour starts to bend up, that's the where you want to get your long in, man. So watch that coin. Call that shit out in the Discord too. STX long, when that 1 hour bounces up and the 15-minute is below the 30 line, or at least the 50 mark, which is right here, heading up. That's going to be a hell of a long right there. So that's the correct trade that we should be actually getting in here, is that trade right there. So until that happens, man, I got to kind of like just watch in awe and see what happens, because this trade is going to like have big dips and it's going to come right back up, right? The short for this trade happened a long time ago, and we don't want to chase a trade, right? Don't chase trades, right? So just watching this coin go up and down, like you can see here, like, look here, that trade right there and that short, that made an easy 15-20%. You always got to close your trades or move your stop loss, because trades are flying up and down. This right now is what we call a sideways channel. This coin has hit a floor. It's going sideways right here. Going sideways right here. So right now it's in a sideways trend, and we can't make any trades on this, even though this is looking really juicy right here. It's not showing a lot of, like, you know, you want to make sure you take profits here, man. We got a 15-minute below the 200 moving average, but the 5-minute RSI is already at the bottom, which means it's got to bounce. It has to bounce up, which means if it has to bounce, it's not going to have a long way down. It's going to have a short fall down, and then the 5-minute is going to kind of push it back up. And while the 5-minute is creating an upward movement, we have no idea how the 1 hour RSI is going to react from that. We have no idea how much pressure or buying pressure is coming, or right. The selling pressure already happened way back over here, right? The selling pressure already happened right here, right here, and right here. The selling pressure already happened. So right now, think of it like this, right? You're at the bottom of the barrel, and even though there's 20% of the barrel left to go, it's a good possibility that the barrel is going to start filling up. So you don't want to take these trades once you miss the original trade. The original trade is on the 5-minute right here on the sell right here when it broke the 200. That's the original trade. Right now we're at 80% of the trade. We don't want to be there. We want to make trades in the first 20% of a trade. That makes sense to you guys? You don't want to be in the last, you don't want to be in the back end of a trade, because it's not going to work out for you. It's not the greatest thing in the world. But if you do get into a back end of a trade and it falls down real quick, take the damn profits and get out of that trade, because it's not going to last there. All right, 849. Because it's not going to last for you. We'll see some movement here down, but it's not going to be anything. I mean, with high leverage, you can make money. You can make 20% on this, but it's not worth the risk, right? It's not worth the risk. Play higher percent trades for better percent positioning. You guys understand what I'm saying? If you want to make money on there. Yeah, dish, make sure you look at the 1 hour. So remember, dish, you only want to trade along with the 1 hour, right? So trade the long. If the 1 hour is going up, you go long on the 15-minute, okay? Listen to what I'm saying. The trades go like this. 1 hour RSI. You trade the direction of the 1 hour RSI, step one, right? When the 1 hour RSI is heading down, that means you're in a short position, you're playing shorts. How much of the short position can you trade? You look at the 15-minute, that kind of tells you how much of the 15-minute, how much of the 1 hour downtrend you have left. Currently, if we look at the 15-minute here, right, we look at the 15-minute, the 15-minute's almost done with its bounce. So right now, there's not much trade in the short. So what's our alternative? Our alternative is to wait for the 15-minute to bounce and start to head up. And then at that point, we look at the 1 hour, right? Right, we keep an eye on the 1 hour, right? 1 hour is the lead indicator, right? 1 hour RSI. If it's heading down, we're shorting. If it's heading up, we're longing. The 1 hour is our trend. So then right now, the 1 hour is heading down. We look at the 15-minute, it's heading down, but it's almost done heading down on the 15. So it's not worth the risk of the trade. So now we have to wait for the cycle to repeat, which means the 15-minute bounces and goes up. And then we watch the 1 hour to see when the 1 hour is going to go up. If the 1 hour never goes up and the 15-minute goes up and then starts to head back down and the 1 hour is still heading down, then you short the 15-minute when it starts to head down, right? If the 15-minute bounces and starts to go up and we look at the 1 hour and the 1 hour is up too, then we go long because the 1 hour is up and the 15 minutes at the bottom heading up. Get it? 15-minute RSI, you watch it move. When it bounces, whatever direction, if it bounces up, you go to the 1 hour. If the 1 hour isn't bouncing with it, then you let the 15-minute finish its bounce, and then when it reverses, you enter the trade based on the 1 hour direction. Right? Got it? DYDX. Let's go. DYDX, baby. I got to get some breakfast, guys. I got to get some breakfast here. DYDX. All right. DYDX. All right, guys. So the first thing we do when we look at it, man, I want you guys to repeat with me. First thing that we do when we find a trade VC is what? We look at the 4 hours, sir. That's right. Look at the 4 hours, sir. Take a look at the 4 hours, sir. Boom. 4 hour is in a RSI mode. And where's the 100 line? Let's get to the 100 line. 100. 100. Okay, so the RSI right here is basically set up for a nice long trade, because a lot of times, go back and look at that pump right here. The RSI hit the 100, traded long ways, and it went for a nice little run. So currently the DYDX is headed up right now. Scroll down now that we know that's happening. Now we rotate to the 2 hour to make sure where we're at as far as that. The 2 hour RSI is also confirming it has a push up to the 100 line. So we got about 4 hours of a continuous push here. Now we rotate to the 1 hour to see what our trend is, right? Our current trend on the 1 hour RSI is up. It still hasn't hit the 100 line, so it has some room there to grow, but not that much, and it can go sideways. So we have a little bit of a push up here. So now we rotate to the 15 minutes. So overall, the DYDX is actually in an upward trend here. And now we take a look at the 15 minutes. So right now, the 15 minute is in what we call a pullback, right? So here's a pullback on the 15 minute. So when that 15 minute comes down, as long as the 1 hour RSI is still headed up, you will enter a long and ride the 15 minute back up. As you can see right here, you're getting a pullback right here. When this 15 minute reverses, that's when you want to go long on that trade. And as soon as it reverses, what do? You then rotate to the 5 minute to make sure you're getting in at the best trade, which means the RSI on the 5 minute should be below the 70 or 80 line, heading up still. I like it at the 50 mark, heading up. But if the 5 minutes oversold, then I will continue to wait until the RSI hits the bottom on the 5 minute. Then I will enter the long, because the 15 minute has started up. Now I go to the 5 minute to get the best entry by waiting for the 5 minute to also start its march up. So currently right now, guys, DYDX is not on a buy section, it's on a sell section until the 15 minute starts to go up. And how do we know the 15 minutes going to start to go up? We watch the 5 minute bounce. When the 5 minute bounces, we then go to the 15 minute to see what the 15 minute is doing. And if the 5 minute is running up and the 15 minute is running up, then we enter that trade, guys. Very simple. So currently right now, DYDX, I'll put a little toe tag on it right there. Currently at $479.52 mil. Is basically on its way down from that moment until this 15 minute bounces, guys. Got it? Got it. Got it. Guys, if you want to get set up, man, you want to get in the academy, make sure you're joining the academy, guys. The link is right above. It is the title of the live, TikTokCryptoTrading.com. TikTokCryptoTrading.com, guys. Very easy to stay focused on. All right, what other coin we got out there? Big dog. What up, baby? All right, guys, let's go over here and take a look here. What coins? What coins, guys? I can't right now. I can't find a trade that I like, guys. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a breakfast break. I'm gonna come back in about an hour. And we're gonna restart this, man. Make sure you guys are posting the information inside of the Discord on the 15-minute, the 1 hour, and the 4-hour RSI, guys, please. So that way you guys can understand what we have going on. Let me finish this stream here.